Okay, good afternoon. Oh, I have to make sure my volume is on. And it is. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I don't know. It's amazing how somebody can know so much technical stuff and know absolutely zero technological stuff. I am like technologically illiterate, if that is a thing. I just managed to break every piece of technology under the sun. So no Mixler audio only today. I apologize. But it is what it is. So SPY, just bots buying all day long, like 15-minute maintained that uptrend the entire day. We saw a couple big sells, and then that's when we finally lost the 5-minute uptrend. So we don't know yet because we're still maintaining the hourly uptrend just fine. This is very healthy hourly consolidation holding above the 5-period exponential moving average. No red flags for the bulls here. I don't care if it's overbought. It doesn't really matter. It can cool off sideways and go a heck of a lot higher before it does anything. So until we lose that hourly uptrend on SPY, we don't know that our daily lower high is set. And so what we're going to do now is just be patient and see what tomorrow brings. If the bulls can get continuation, then we're going to be looking up at 293.93 and the key resistance 294.15. If we break that, then we've broken out of our daily equilibrium bullish. And obviously if we, go down from there, probably would take some sort of like news at an exactly technical place to get us there really, really quickly or something like that to get us for a bear break and then, or not even a bear break, but even a potential higher low on the daily time frame. So no red flags on SPY for now, still in daily equilibrium. Nothing really has changed. We've been there for a while. And yeah, it gets overwritten by tomorrow morning. So you can still watch it tonight. It would just get overwritten by tomorrow morning. So lots of trade reviews to go over today. So I don't really trade when I'm live, and I've been taking a lot of, just with vacation last week, I took a few trades, and I just been really slowing down on my trading, especially with SPY being, so volatile within this range, but choppy. Like I haven't been taking very many trades and spending a lot of time just like looking at trades, walking through trades in real time. And I don't know, it's been a lot of fun. So I have so many good ones today and I'm excited to share them with you. So we're going to start with BA. I mentioned this morning top fishing off of this level, 367.34 or 369.69. We hit 366.06. So that top fish played out really well. That was one. BAC. I know a couple of you guys took BAC. That was perfection. Like there could not have been anything more beautiful than the BAC trade today, except for maybe FSLY, but we'll go through that. So first thing to start the day, BAC had this perfect equilibrium. I posted in the chat, break of 27.12, boom, follow through, 15-minute bull flag, more follow through, BAC looking great. So daily time frame, the banks are now hitting they're breaking that pattern of lower highs every day. We still have a daily lower high unless we can get over 27.70. So potential top fishing play coming up tomorrow on the banks. But otherwise, BAC, that 5-minute equilibrium just gave such good follow through. And we're hitting the 20-period exponential moving average, struggling at that. So potential that we don't close over that and have to pull back and form a daily higher low. But this double bottom looking pretty good on the daily time frame for BAC. That was the second one that was really nice. And congratulations to those who took it, because I know some of you did. Netflix was another really good one today. So Netflix, we were watching for that daily move to get over 296.77. Here was the break, 296.77. You can see that we topped out. We did it right in the first 5 minutes of the day. Pulled back, little 5-minute bull flag, had follow through. Somebody asked me when we were around 298 if we should top fish Netflix. I said I don't like Netflix top fish until we get to closer to resistance at 300. The resistance was actually 333. Look at that top fish, beautiful. So if you entered there on that break, exit half at 300, see if we get any follow through over 300. We didn't get any, so the exit would have been, that's the higher low, that's the lower high. We held that level all day, and then your exit is here when we lost 298.24. You're exiting in profit after locking in a solid amount on that. So beautiful trade on Netflix today. That played out really nice. FSLY is the one I'm going to talk about for a while. So FSLY had a bunch of interesting things happening today, and it was kind of cool. So first things first, obviously massive bearish reversal candlestick. We saw that forming when it was well over $30. So no surprise there. We knew that after this long of a run, it was so supremely stretched over the 5-period exponential moving average on the daily time frame. It was just a matter of time before the bears came in. And they did that just under $35 psychological. There was a beautiful trade to be had on FSLY, bullish actually. So we had this consolidation, and then we had this series of lower highs. The entry was here at 33.88. As soon as we broke 33.88, instant follow through to the tune of $1. And at that point, when you're running up that high in the daily time frame, there's absolutely no reason that you're letting anything ride. Every single play that you're making now on FSLY in the past few days should have been one of taking profit when you have it and just being happy with it and then waiting for another patient setup, because we knew when the dump was going to come that it was going to come, and it was going to come pretty hard. So when we then zoomed out on FSLY, it was to show that, okay, we had that break, and then we saw it pulling back. And so I was zoomed out to the, I think it was the 15-minute time frame here. So I zoomed out to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so we had that first break, had a good move, and then we saw the 15-minute time frame was reaching this resistance. I saw the RSI, and I saw the MACD divergence. And so when it started pulling back, it was like, okay, should we re-enter this trade? And I was like, absolutely not. All the bearish signs are there. You don't enter the trade. You know that when this dumps, it's going to dump hard. So watch the dump. We saw the break. We saw the bear flag. And then we saw, as soon as it lost 33.02 on that bear flag, that we saw all out dump. So then you have to look out. So this is where your multiple time frames matter, okay? Because we know that daily time frame test of 5 EMA is likely. So you could say, okay, my first zone I'm going to look at is the 5 EMA. That's all the way down at 27.97. So maybe we're going to get a bounce before that. So I zoomed into the hourly time frame, and I looked at it and I said, okay, hourly 50 is going to be the first area I'm going to look. That was going to be at 29.60 at the time. So I said, okay, if it gets all the way down to 29.60, I'm going to be looking for a play there. So I zoomed into the 15-minute chart. And what I wanted was for the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart to get down to 29.60 as soon as possible. So if it had gone down on this 5-minute chart, it stopped at 30.15. If it had gone down to 29.60, so as it's dumping, my order would have been ready at 29.60, knowing that it was potentially something I would have to add one leg lower as well. So the idea was, if it hits 29.60, you play the bounce back up to the 5 EMA. Because it stopped ahead of 29.60, the entire trade changed. So you don't know to necessarily enter there. You could play it off $30 support if that's how you like to do it. But then I zoomed in to the 2-minute time frame when I started to watch the bounce. And I said, on the 2-minute time frame, so the question was, okay, is this going to be a 5-minute bear flag, or are we going to see continuation of this bounce? We were sitting here at 31.24. We were right at the 2-minute 12 EMA. And I said, if it tops out here, it's a bear flag. If it gets continuation up, let's say to the 20, which was sitting at about 31.64 at the time, then I'm going to be potentially looking for that 5-minute higher low for that entry, and it will be less likely that it's a bear flag. We topped out at the 2-period, 2 EMA, so this is where all your time frames matter for these trades. We topped out at the 2-period, and I said, okay, this is going to break next time. But I no longer like 29.60. It will still hit, but I don't like it for a trade anymore. And that was because I wanted us as extended as possible on the first move when we got to it in order to get the good bounce off of it. So I zoomed out again and I looked for where my next potential bounce point would be. I saw that we had support at 27.45. I'm trying to remember where I had something at 28.60, because I said 28.50s or 28.60 was going to be my next bounce zone. And it was here, so 28.61 was support. So I looked down at that support, and that was going to be my next bounce zone if we got there fast. So same thing, you want to get there as fast as possible so that you are well away from these 5 EMAs so that you can play the bounce up to them. So we had the bear flag play out. The 2-minute gave the heads up that we were breaking. We saw it. We saw the 5 rejecting 5 in a row. We saw the bear flag play out. We hit 28.59, perfect play off that support, and then a nearly $1 move up, so 70 cents, which is, at this point 2% move up just to the 5 EMA. You take your profit. You're not trying to nail the bottom. You know that whenever this play does, it can keep going down further. So you're playing counter trend. You are not trying to nail the bottom on this one for any sort of larger move. You are scalping your 2% and you're running away with it. And bear flag again on the 5-minute time frame once we lost that, but you're taking profit there. The levels all worked out well. The one thing that you don't want to play on this is strict oversold RSI. We're more oversold on the RSI. We're less oversold on the RSI. We're a whole 10% lower than we were back up here. The last thing you want to do is get caught just with a low RSI, knowing that the trade can continue to drop 10% against you without ever getting that RSI off of oversold. So really cool trading with the technical levels on FSLY and walking through it real time just to reinforce like tactics is honestly like one of the best activities you can do. So if you're, not trading, if you're paper trading or if you're whatever, like, and you have some time that you can either video record yourself walking through your thought process. I know Jason does that. If you can talk to a friend and just like walk through a process on that, it's an insane exercise to realize like everything that you would want to do on that trade and how you would execute it and how what would make you change your mind, what would make you do the trade. What a cool exercise to do, to walk through that FSLY trade, just knowing that these ones go so much further than they always go. So really neat. Getting less follow through now. We are seeing bullish divergence, so we'll see if we get any shorts covering into the end of the day. But I thought that was a really fun exercise to play out, whether you were playing the trade or not. I was fascinated watching this and walking through my process on how I would trade that. So I didn't take it. I don't care to take every trade. I love this is just so fun, the technicals. So anyways, I hope that helps somebody, especially with these crazy volatile fast movers. RSI is not your guide. Your guide has to be levels. It has to be a specific level that you're watching. It has to be fast and furious, and you have to be protective at all times, never taking any sort of full position, always just recognizing that when you need to hold off or not. So waiting for the trade to come to you, like this bounce, once it played out, you're taking your level off, you're going for the next level lower. You're not trying to chase it here on that short bounce. You have to let the trade come to you. If it doesn't hit your number, you don't play it, and that's the end of that. So FSLY, daily time frame, bearish reversal candlestick. We'll see if we get follow through tomorrow. We're still bouncing off the 5 period. Daily is still just fine in an uptrend, but obviously giving back $7 right now, a bit of a red flag. So we'll see if we get that bounce underway. Need a 5-minute trend change off that bullish divergence in order to get that, and see if we have our 4-hour higher low set. Support now down at 27.45 and 28.12. Okay. One more trade review. Had some fun ones today. Okay. One more trade review. So APHA got crazy tight. 5-minute time frame was just in such a tight zone. We had so many resistances. Last lower high, we had about 5 tops at 637. So the buy was at 637, assuming either buying on the break of it. You can see where the volume started to come in, or buying 638. And then I targeted 645. I kind of intuitively targeted that one. I do have that level on my chart, but apparently not everybody has that level on their chart. So I don't know where it came from. I had it at the top of this candle. My target was if that 637 broke, we'd see follow through to 645. That's where we got follow through from. Not seen nicely as well. So lots of cool trades today. The fact that Netflix is not potentially going to close over that 296.77 is a bit of a red flag for me on the Netflix daily chart. And SPY now pulling back a little bit harder now, losing that 5-period exponential moving average on the hourly. And sometimes I don't trade because I'm watching so many things that I have so many tickers in my head that I just forget what I'm even looking at. So let's check in on gold. Gold pulling back today, and miners as well. Although with SPY dumping now, I have a feeling that gold is bouncing slightly. Somebody tell me, I think I literally have to be reminded to breathe here. Okay, so yes, gold bouncing on the hourly, getting a little bit extended from the 5 EMA. We're going to look to that as our first resistance. That's going to be up at 1527. We'll see if gold gets there. Daily time frame for gold. We are totally healthy. We are starting to see that scenario where our higher highs get closer and closer together. We're not seeing as much follow through as we were getting before. So we do have to be aware of that. And obviously that's going to start to make it look wedgy. We could draw a trend line from here to here, and we're going to see that that's not a trend line. We can draw a trend line from here to here. There we go. We can see that that's giving the price a hard time. We can get our bottom one going for this rising wedge as such. And we can see that we tapped off the bottom of that today. Oh, you know, it would be so cool of gold if we went here to here, here, little blow off the top, get that 1575 zone right here, and then weekly consolidation. That would be awesome. I don't know if we're going to get that, but probably unlikely, but that would be really cool if we did, because that would give really nice divergence on the MACD as well, which we don't quite have yet. I mean, we have it from here to here, but I want one more little one. We do have this RSI one playing out too. That's very clear. RSI one is very clear. That'd be cool. Blow off the top 1575 maybe for a gold short would be awesome. Okay, anyways, whether or not that happens or not, doesn't matter. Oil. Is it weird how much technical analysis excites me? I don't know. So many fun things today happened. Oil daily time frame. So we're closing back up inside that weekly chart. We see that we're back inside the pink zone. So pink zone is chop zone. 57.11 resistance. 56.86 high of today. Still choppy range on oil. Natural gas. So natural gas following through on that bull break, still watching 234.4 resistance, getting over exponential moving averages, seeing those crosses happen. So nice little bottoming process here. And we're getting to see follow through. Next resistance, I'm going to be watching 234.44 and this 100 period 239 area. DXY. DXY, dollar breaking out. So potentially going to give our further indication of gold weakness. And by weakness, I just mean we're getting a daily higher low for now, but 98.45 broke, 98.50, 55 was our next, and 98.93 next resistance. At some point, we'll need a higher low, but we're not going to be too concerned about that just yet until we see some topping signs. And Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I do expect to see further downside. We're still in this range. We are still holding these supports, 91.01 on Bitfinex, 90.84 and 90.49 on Bitstamp. So something all in around the $9,000 area. Just with the way that this is coming, the 5 is potentially going to cross over the 100 in the next couple of days. I am anticipating another leg down. And I will be looking at this level I have here at 85.06 for starter entries on Bitcoin. Okay, let's get into some tickers. You guys were late to the ball, but now adding some, so we'll do daily. Labs daily time frame. So inside bar on the daily time frame, rejecting from the 5-period exponential moving average. We do have the 10 over 50 cross incoming potentially tomorrow, which could be another little leg down. Get that cross. We can still hold that 426. And then we're going to need a higher low and higher high. We're going to have to break 490 in order to get that weekly higher low set. Otherwise, this is a potential daily bear flag. And the volume today is seriously abysmal in general. XLY, I know you're shorting it from 120, so you're looking at this XLY, not the other XLY. So 120.54, 120.26, so slight higher high, but we do have this as a potential rising wedge sort of pattern. Just if we don't see follow through, we'd need to break the highs of today, tomorrow, and then look up at 122.14. If we don't do that, then there is that potential for that rising wedge, which we keep having like these little tops that are a buck higher, but not really seeing much follow through. It is a spinning top on the daily time frame. A gap down would be cool because then it would be an abandoned baby, which you don't get to see very often. But that's separate. Netflix I already covered, but we'll do the daily time frame for Netflix because we covered sort of the day trading aspect of it. Big upper wick of profit taking. We are rejecting from the top of this wedge as well as from the 12 period, 10 period, whatever, exponential moving average. So definitely no sign of the bulls really changing anything yet. I would have wanted it to close over that pivot of 296.77, that level that I was watching for. If it closes under that, I'm going to call that a pretty decent rejection, and then we're going to need to get a higher low compared to 287.20 and then see a higher high and get back over 300 in order to have any confidence in this wedge really breaking bull for Netflix. The RSI is doing the right things that it wants to do, but we did tech. Ooh. No, we're holding RSI. I don't like it here. I don't like that. RSI is holding for me, so we haven't lost the RSI uptrend, but Netflix is going to need to pull back, give us a higher low, or just get over 300 and start seeing follow through. After 300, it's looking up at 312, so we do have room to the upside if it can do that in a significant way. But it definitely has some work to do. NVDA. NVDA, so we were looking for our higher low. We had that bearish break yesterday with zero follow through, 159. Now we're seeing bulls show up. Resistance was 167.10. We topped out 168.30. If we close over that resistance, then we're going to potentially be looking for another lower high compared to 173.45 and see if we get that. This is kind of a long-term downtrend at this point. So I will be interested to see if NVDA can break that long-term downtrend or if we get another lower high off of it. And then we kind of have this potential here as far as another triangle for NVDA to be in. That would be kind of cool because that would line up if we topped out here and then saw some bear break on SPY and saw another move towards the low here and saw 154.45 key level play out again. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if that will happen. I just like making things up. Cura. So there's kind of like what you see happening and then what actually happens and what would be cool technically to see. So it's fun to take those exercises and then watch how they play out and see if what looks like it would happen would, or if we just break out of that downtrend and go to higher highs. Cura indecision candle on the daily time frame, rejecting from the 50 period exponential moving average 2 days in a row. So if we cannot break it again tomorrow, then we're going to need to, and very low volume today. So obviously not the volume we want to see after a big earnings day. You want to see continuation. We're not getting that. So this is healthy consolidation. However, what the bulls really need is continuation. I would have wanted for a bit more of a bullish candle to close over this key 938 level. So we'll see where they close. Head and shoulders on the hourly. Not yet. It was this. We did get that higher high with no follow through. So it's potential, but it would be a very slanted one. I mean, for a proper head and shoulders, we'd have to come down all the way to 894. This is still a higher low, higher high pattern. So we haven't lost that yet. If we would come up and set a lower high around 945, and then break 917, then obviously that would be a change in trend. But is it a perfect head and shoulders? No, I'm a little nitpicky on my head and shoulders patterns. FSLY, I did. UNT. So UNT, we had our bear move, we had our bull move, we had our rejection from the 100 period, we had our support at the 50 period, and we're going up and testing that 100 period again. It's going to need to close over that to see any further upside. Otherwise, we're going to potentially still be looking for a lower high compared to 334. CMG is always going for all-time highs. Remember the time I bought CMG at 336 because it was so oversold, and then I didn't hold it to 800? That was fun. CMG, hourly, all-time highs, bull flag, just under 850 psychological resistance. Blue sky breakout continues for CMG. Not really much to say. Unless it loses 833, there's no bear play on it. JNUG. So JNUG rejecting from 100 period and 5 period hourly, so still a potential bear flag. We did lose our hourly levels today on GDX, which I'm going to chart because it's cleaner always a bit for me. So you can see that we had this level here. We were looking to hold it. There was two. You could have played the break of 30.35. Then we had the break of 30.33. They both had follow through. Really nice follow through. Bear flag, rejection from the 50. Down, bear flag, not seeing that follow through, but now getting that rejection from the 100. And you can see we had the support to play off of here as well, 29.40. We double bottomed off of that. So that was a really nice little support to play off of. Stop could have been below, let's say 29.28, because we did have that little wick. And below that, you can see there's a clear lack of support all the way down to 28.30. Daily time frame is losing the 5 period exponential moving average, I believe. I think we're just sitting under it. So getting that same thing where we're getting those higher highs and they are seeing less and less follow through. So from this high to this high, that's huge follow through. This high to this high, and then this one to this one is slightly less than this one was, and then slightly less than this one was, and percentage wise a bunch less. And we are losing the 5 period exponential moving average. However, daily time frame, we are fine because anything over 27.61 is still going to be a daily higher low. Obviously, a little bit of a wedge pattern to be watching here as well. And weekly time frame, we know that miners can see quite a bit of pullback and still be incredibly healthy given their recent moves and given GDX almost double topping with its 2016 highs. 1 hour bear flag confirmation is more likely, in my opinion. TLND. So TLND on the daily time frame, bear flag negated, getting over the resistances, potential top fish playoff 42.05 if it can't get over it first thing tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to look for continuation after a nice move. Our volume really not that impressive there for this move. And a very choppy chart to play. You could see this bounce between the 50 and the 100 has just been like buy the 50, sell the 100, buy the 50, sell the 100. So getting a close over it is a good sign. We never got one. So both of these days were rejections from it. So getting a close over the 100 is definitely a good sign. We do have a gap. Oh, do we have a gap to fill? 42.65. We do have a gap to fill. So if we break 42.05 tomorrow, then we could be looking for the gap to fill at 42.65 and then still a lack of resistance after that, 44.73. So pretty decent in terms of volatility on TLND CWeb. CWeb rejecting from the 50 period exponential moving average on the daily time frame. Big upper wick. Well, decent. Yeah, I would say decent size upper wick. Failure to close over 23, which was such a key resistance for half of the day. And then we saw a slight pop over it and then gave back that move. Not liking that. Decreasing bull volume on the daily time frame. So definitely going to be watching. If we lose 22.48, then we're going to need a higher low compared to $20 for CWeb. CTST. CTST. Still just rejecting from the 5 period exponential moving average on the daily time frame, getting a nice move, but nothing is going to change until we get a higher low and higher high. Nugget bull break, Amazon new low of day. So Amazon. Amazon big upper wick of profit taking today. It's going to potentially, depending on where it closes, be rejecting from that 12 period exponential moving average and not even quite hitting the 20. So definitely you can see where SPY is like up here. Amazon should be well over 1800 and it is just not. So definitely weakness in Amazon showing. We'll see if this morning it was a really good laggard play. We'll see if SPY gets continuation, if Amazon gets that as well. If SPY bull breaks, I would be looking for Amazon to get back towards here, try to negate this cross up at 1840. So we'll see if we get that. Otherwise, Amazon is not looking nearly as pretty as, or as bullish as SPY. And we know that because the banks have been so strong for SPY compared to tech. Wow, I'm really having trouble breathing today. This is crazy. Okay, so CGC daily time frame, everything that the bears wanted, everything that the bulls were hoping did not happen. But we said yesterday it was entirely possible that we were going to get a really bad confirmation, reject from the 5-period exponential moving average, and just see no follow through on that bounce. And that's exactly what we got. So until we can break that, close over the 5, we're just seeing still lower highs on the daily time frame, and really nothing has changed. CGC chart is still all bears until we can get a higher low and higher high. Let's call it on the 4-hour time frame at this point, because I know we got it on the hourly, but seeing no follow through as far as the daily chart goes. SYSS, so that's doing what Amazon was hoping it would do, which is getting a little bit more follow through. But obviously Amazon's not down as much, but just in terms of this lower chart pattern. So we are getting that double bottom and follow through now. It's going to want to get over the 20 period and see further follow through tomorrow. If we can't do that and we pull back from the 20, we're going to look for a back test maybe of the 5 down in the low 23 or high 22 range, and then see if we can get another higher low and follow through. But low bear volume is concerning on the daily time frame, and it will be a potential weekly bear flag if we don't get any follow through in the next couple of days. TGOD trying to close back over its smaller exponential moving averages. Anything under 332 will just be 332 will just be another daily lower high, and then that would coincide with us topping out at that 50 tomorrow. Some people thinking that maybe the ETF is going to do some rebalancing. I don't know if it will or not. All that I care about is that it's in a daily equilibrium with our low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low, and potentially lower high coming up. If we break that, then I will reevaluate what I think about TGOD. VIX. So VIX, same thing, similar to SPY, high, low. Well, actually it broke to lower lows, but basically we're in this wide range, and bulls on VIX are going to be hoping for a higher low compared to 15.5, and that's going to depend what happens with SPY. If SPY obviously starts dumping fast, then we'll get our higher low and go. And if SPY goes, then we're bullish, then we're probably going to end up melting up back towards over 300 and get a lower low and head back into the low volatility zone of 12 to 14 range on VIX. So that will depend what SPY does. VSAT. So daily trying to change the trend here. Same thing. We're going to be looking up at this 50-100. It's going to be hard. We can see how many times we've rejected from it in the past. So it's going to be a little bit hard resistance. We're going to want follow through tomorrow. Volume is pretty abysmal today for this to be a nice trend change. So we do have to be aware of a weekly bear flag here as well. But if we can get follow through, then I'll be looking up at 80.58. And if we don't get follow through, then I'll be looking down at a higher low compared to 75.53. How is MU? How have I not? I've been checking like NVDA and AMD all day, and for some reason have not checked MU once today, which is insane to me because it's pretty decent bullish move here. So 45.37 and 45.45 is going to be our daily resistance. They're trying to get this kind of like W shape going and then break this and then look for another lower high on the weekly time frame compared to 48.70 would be my guess. If they can't get over that, then we're going to stay in this daily range and potentially tighten up even further, and then we'd be looking for another higher low compared to 41.66 as things move sideways. NEE. Bouncing off the 12-period exponential. This is a potential daily bull flag. I don't like that it's closing under the 5-period for the second day in a row, but what I do like is that it opened higher and then seeing lower lows without much follow through and still potentially closing within the range of yesterday. That's what's going to keep it as a potential bull flag to me. And we'll see if we get an hourly trend change and see follow through if that's our new daily higher low. Anything over 214.29 will be a daily higher low, so being patient. And we did have dividend payout, which sometimes adjusts the price as well. But bull's still looking just fine on NEE. Dell has earnings tonight. So if you're asking me which direction it's going to go, I have no idea. Ouch. Monthly chart looking for a higher low compared to 42.17 all-time lows. 42.02, sorry, all-time lows. Yeah. Oh, this is because they reopened. Oh, I hate that. There's no real chart on this. Bah. Gosh darn it. Hourly time frame, inverse head and shoulders trying to play out. Earnings tonight will either make this into a giant daily bear flag or it will rocket it up into the 48s. No way to know. I literally feel like I'm on fire. My lungs are on fire today. I don't know why I can't breathe. Too much excitement about all these charts. VFF hourly, this is a potential daily bear flag here as well. So all of MJ just not seeing the follow through that it needed to see today. No volume. Nobody cared after the moves yesterday. Inside bar on the daily time frame, rejecting from the 5-period exponential moving average. We saw that in the first hour of the day that was potentially going to happen. Super low volume. This is a bear flag. Cross has already happened, so nothing incoming there, but let's see if there's anything weekly. Weekly 5 over 20 incoming. Did it cross yet? 38 and 36, not quite. So we have slight extra move down. I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to 956, that weekly 50 that we bounced off of last time, if we see that bear flag play out in the next few days. You guys, you can't chart you guys on the weekly time frame. I already did natural gas, but basically what we're looking for you guys is it to follow natural gas. Hourly time frame, higher lows, higher highs, nothing worrisome about that. 14.20 is our last hourly higher low. Natural gas, we're looking for that to play out and get over 2344. So always charting natural gas when you're playing you guys, because its levels will be more important than you guys' levels. Is AMD worth swinging? AMD is making a bear break right now on the hourly time frame, getting under 31.47. That's going to be our bear break. So daily time frame, I don't see why it's worth swinging. We do have some supports here: 31.33, 31.08. 31.33, 31.38. Just seeing it, saw that gap up open with SPY, and then just saw none of the upside of SPY the entire day, getting very tight and now slightly breaking bear. So I don't, losing hourly RSI support as well. I don't see a reason to be swinging it bullish unless you think that SPY is going to see another gap up overnight, but that's a gamble because this is one of the more bearish hourly charts that we've seen today. That's it. We made it through the tickers. We made it through the trade reviews. Some seriously cool trade setups today. A lot of them that happened later in the day. Some that happened, most of them happened right away first thing in the day. Fun stuff today. Small moves. Like, I know SPY kind of had a $2 move, but kind of cool. Just watching some of those play out. And neat to go back over them and see, like, you know, when you mention them live and then somebody takes it and then you know, I get so excited for you guys when you take trades and then they work out. It's like, it's really just the most rewarding thing. get a message, thanks for this trade or whatever. And it's the most rewarding thing seeing that the technicals just line up and they work out. And I don't know. I find it very exciting. I guess we are done. SPY, gonna see if it closes below this 5 or not, but it's not really gonna matter as long as that hourly uptrend is still in play. I am going to go find like a big gulp of oxygen so that I can start breathing again. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Dan will be live tomorrow. I'll be doing the whiteboard in the morning, giving him some more time with his ducks, but that does not mean he's not live because he will still be. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday evening.